All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Rand Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, and let's take lots of notes and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So right out the gate this morning, if everybody can hear me loud and clear, do me a favor, drop me a one in the chat. Joy is on it. All right, that is good. So we are all set. Let's make sure that we start each and every morning with a very strong foundation, making sure that we are accepting all possible losses, preparing us for entering before entering a trade, preparing us for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, assuring a balanced approach to trading, and that we trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. Let's always imagine our trades successfully materializing, and we want to make sure that we obey our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And we want to make sure that we are never ever looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced. So happy Friday, everybody. Let's dive right in and see what's going on in this market, right? So, going over to trading economics, right? We see that Japan, right, as expected, Japan raises policy rates to highest since 2008. The Bank of Japan raised its key short-term interest rate by 25 basis points to
Hey, Benny.
0.5%. Huh? Can you hear
Sorry
me?
to interrupt you, bro. You're not
Yep.
sharing your screen.
Oh, am I not? I'm not. Oh man, it must. Hold on one second. There we go. Can you see it now?
Got you. Yes, sir.
Yep. All right. So appreciate it, man. Uh, so it was the third rate hike since the Bank of Japan ended negative interest rates in March 2024, reflecting uh wage hike momentum and steady rise in inflation. All right. So right out the gate, Ryan, what do you think, man?
My bad. Couldn't get to the mute button. It's kind of what we talked about in the middle of the week. Um, they raised it, but then they came back and talked about if their projections come into alignment, then they may increase rates further, right? So this rate increase was already priced into the market, so you didn't see a major reaction. And then after the press conference, you're now seeing the market the yen weaken, right? So
Yep.
this what we expected to occur. They're expecting inflation to be higher this year.
Hmm.
It did change that projection, and that was shortage in the labor market.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the yen weaken as we anticipated it would, and I think we'll continue to see that through at least this first quarter.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in agreement with that. That said that I was reading that the traders see about a 68% chance of another increase by July. Um, if wages rise enough, and then stuff like the Trump tariffs don't interfere. But that's in July, you
Yep,
know. So
yep.
yeah, definitely continuing to trade against the yen right now. I guess we'll probably have, risk off situations. You may see a strengthen between now and then, but like you said, it was already looks like it was already priced in. So for sure. Appreciate it, man.
No doubt.
Yep. Yep. All right. We also see here, right? Taking a look at the dollar, right? So it's fell below the 107.5 mark on Friday, right? Yesterday we were taking a look at the DXY to see if it was going to form that swing low. It did not. Extending its recent decline to over a 1 month low amid strength from major counterparts in the index. as markets reconsidered the impact of pro-inflationary policies previously pledged by Donald Trump. Right, so this was quite interesting, right? But we talked about this closing out the year, that there's the ego and the bluster, and then there's reality, right? So the U.S. president reiterated plans to expand energy output and deregulate business practices in his latest remarks at the World Economic Forum. Here's the kicker, everybody. But refrain from emphasizing tariffs against China, limiting risk of inflation for key goods that the U.S. imports. Right? He actually said he would rather not, right, use tariffs against China. Right? In the meantime, data showed that recurrent unemployment claims rose to their highest in over 3 years in January, indicating that the labor market is being impacted by restrictive monetary policy, despite remaining historically strong levels. Then we talked about the BOJ. While higher inflation flagged PMIs threatened the magnitude of cutting cycles by the ECB and the Bank of England, right? So we backed off that China deal a little bit. So we'll see we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, right? This was huge today, right? The Eurozone composite PMI rose to 50.2 in January from 49.6, right? So we're slightly above 50 in the previous month, ahead of market expectations. Um, 49.7 should mark the first expansion of the Eurozone's private sector activity since August 2024, according to the flash estimate, right? So that was some decent news for the euro. I think we're still expecting rate cuts though coming forward, but it did give a boost, right? It played kind of right into some of our euro plays that we're looking at. It pushed the euro dollar up, but some of our other euro plays are looking decent, like that euro JPY as a result of that, right? So we always need a catalyst. I forgot to go over to the Forex factor. Uh, Looking at today, let me go back though to yesterday. Retail sales for Canada, right? We were looking for that number, came in under, right? They missed, and then we just read that the unemployment claims came in just slightly above forecast. That's a wash, right? Their natural gas stores came in under where it needed to be, and then of course we had President Trump's remarks highlighted. They had that as a big red folder yesterday, and he did not disappoint, so to speak. Crude inventories, right, came in above forecast there. He did do some talking yesterday in regards to, energy, oil prices, things like that, that put some weight on oil. So we'll take a quick look at that today as well. Today, the 24th, so we talked about the flash PMIs that came through. And then 8:30, we've got the PMI data for manufacturing and services coming through for the United States. So that can create some volatility. And then we've got existing home sales. Okay. And then we've got the revised University uh, of Michigan sentiment and U of M inflation expectations. So uh, we'll keep an eye on those this morning. But the big news, the Bank of Japan early this morning, and then those PMIs that came through uh, for the Eurozone. So we see here in Germany, largest player in the Eurozone came in above forecast. All right. So that's that on the fundamental front. Posted a lot of things in the community, a lot of good notes to read. So if you haven't had a chance to do that, make sure that you get caught up on that at some point, either today or over the weekend. Ryan, anything else on the fundamental front that I might have missed?
Um, no, no, that's it.
All right. So taking a look, right? Looking at the S&P. right? From yesterday, we saw some gains pretty much across the board out of all, right? All of our sectors for the S&P saw gains yesterday. So the market continued to push, right? So that is a good thing, right? If you trade long, right? And on your S&P 500. So that's where we are there. Taking a look at that DXY, right? So we were looking at this yesterday. Hey, are we going to form a swing low and continue to push up? Nope, we pushed a little bit lower. So we're right here past resistance. Could be support at this 107.48 level, right? So we will see what happens as we close out the week here at this level. But that dollar continued to move downwards. Okay. So you can see we are moving bearish, right? And we just hit an extension there on the 4. We run that fib from the top, coming down to the 1 hour. Um, we run it here again, right? We've made a good pullback, getting a reaction here at the 127 zone. Maybe we push lower, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's where we are on the dollar index. Any questions there regarding the dollar right now? Dollar down, right? And we see oftentimes, right? We see the rally in the stock market, right? That was a good boost yesterday. Uh, when you um when you have when you have when you have Trump. Hold on one second, everybody. All right, sorry about that. When you have Trump back off the tariffs in regards to China, still talking uh tariffs with Canada and Mexico, right? Our two closest trade partners, but backed off the China tariff talk a bit, right? You got a good rally in the stock market. So we'll continue to see how that goes. All right. That's that. So it's Friday, right? So right out the gate, before I dive into what I want to go over, are there any particular pairs that you all want to cover this morning? If you do, feel free to put them in the chat. We'll take a look at them. Swish Yen, Nash, yeah, Aussie, and NASDAQ. Okay. All right. So that's it right now. All right. So let's take a look at the Swiss Yen. All right. And so this has kind of just been ranging, right? Not the two strongest currencies, but when you look at it from the daily, right? We do have a swing low that formed, right? And right, we've got to move, right? Looking like it wants to move long, um, from that perspective right now, right? And then we have, right, this play here, right? That turned over. So we went from an 80-20, right, to putting our stop above that high and getting short, and now it's moving back up. So we came in close, right? See that almost hit that. That had to be right here. Man, 20 something pips away from hitting that extension on that short. So you had a beautiful 80-20. It turned over, it went high in the zone, but then it turned over and moved lower. And now, right, it looks like it's found support on that daily and it's trying to move higher, right? But we'll see if it comes back down. This one is kind of hard to tell, right? So, um, we had the short on this one from that 4 hour, but now it seems to be uh reversing. So I don't know, right? We didn't officially come and hit that 4 hour extension. So I don't know, to be quite honest, if this is gonna start a long run back to the upside now that the interest rate decision has been made and we've gotten a little bit of forward guidance on this Swiss yen. So I don't know if this is just a temporary thing, then it's gonna eventually turn back over and move back down. But I will do, some research later this morning into the afternoon regarding the Swiss franc to see if I can pick up anything from that end. We know where the yen stands, right? We just went over that information um, regarding that rate decision. But the Swiss franc, I need to do some research on. So had the short, so we'll see. We'll try to figure out exactly which way this wants to go based on this daily look. We do have, right, your overall, right? Okay, so I'm not totally sure if this is this is a reversal, major reversal to a downtrend, and we're gonna keep moving up, or we're gonna end up stalling and moving back down, right? So I guess we could say, if we start to, break above um, this key level here, right, that we have marked before. Let me put the price level on at 172.70. Hey, maybe we this trend reverses and we start to get long, and then it falls in line with the rest of the yen plays that we've been paying attention to, right? So this was the one that turned over in the opposite direction. The rest we've been pretty much playing long. This was the one that we, after that 80-20, we turned over in the zone and we went south. So it's kind of the oddball, but it's, it kind of makes sense to switch yen. So that's the best I could do on that one, Joy. For right now. Which way are you planning, or are you just thinking about it?
No, there was a call on the 4 hour long Ryan had earlier this week.
Yep, yep.
I just sat it and forgot it, and I noticed that it was coming. And what happened was I had got in closer to like between the 618 and the 76 zone,
Okay.
and it was right above the cloud, but the lag didn't break out yet. And then that's
Yeah.
when it kind of dropped down. So it was like I was trying to get a sense of where the Swiss was at now since JPY news was out.
Yep. Yep. So that spot right now, I'll put the cloud on the four. Uh, there, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
again, if we get above I don't even think I had that level brought down, right? There we go. So, right, we take that high, we may run on that push higher, we may break out and go higher on that, but we shall see, right? That one is definitely we played it right at 80-20 and then the short, but that just missed that 170 even number that I had marked out right here, this 8.6 for the extension, right? So, we had an 8.6 retracement, 118 extension. We almost got there, right? It ran into it formed support there in the higher time frame and it moved up, but we shall see. This was done
And I
well, though.
executed discipline on this. I was about to grab another position when it zipped down. I said, "Nah, I'll go ahead and leave it alone," because I put half.
Yeah,
I put half on the play already. I was like, I don't know where this is going. Let me stop. So I just held it.
yeah, yeah. That I get it. That and look from this structure here and that breakout, that looks like that wants to move higher. So that number here, now that I've got this 4 hour cloud on with this 200 running, we talked about that 172.70 level. That'll get you most likely above your 200, and then it might run. it might run. So we'll see we'll see what happens there. But this switch in, man, the one thing about it is that it's a mover. You know, it's a big mover. So even to that 382 target was 284. That 61.8 was 407, right? If you were playing it short, you know, your 61.8 move there was 390, and off the high, right? The turn down where you had that circle, you know, was all the way down 554 pips. So when it gets going, it can really get going. And you see here, this might be poised for that breakout to get higher as a result of what we just saw with the Bank of Japan decision. So yeah, we shall see. What's this on this running there? It's right at that 50. So that may run or that may run higher, right? And we might just hang out in the zone for a while. Yep, 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 yep. So that's where we are. That's quite interesting one. There, you see, it's tough, right? Look at your weekly chart there. So continues to bounce around in that range. Looking at the other request was the pound Aussie. Uh, see where we are here, right? What you thinking on this one, Joy?
Um, I'm long. I done
Okay,
forgot my notes is upstairs, but there was an 80-20, and I think this was from Saturday.
80-20 on the 4,
on the four.
coming off the high.
Yep. So that was that original crown, but we ran into a higher time frame extension there. So we'll take that off, right? And so where are we running that 80-20 from?
Off the high.
Oh, off the high, like that. Oh, to see if we're gonna pick back up and continue long. Because I got a long-term long on that pound Aussie. So yeah, we're still hovering there, right? That's just ranging though. We need a breakout, eh? It's holding at that level. So that's still in the zone, right? We just need price to get moving. Not doing too much right now. So if you're playing a straight 80-20 off that sub trip, hey, hang in there with it. Hang in there with it, right? We're looking bullish today. We just need to break out and get beyond this consolidation, right? To that 382 there, right? 175, 268, and then hopefully a continuation longer from there because we just missed, right? Getting to that higher time frame extension. So let's uh let's continue to see. I mean, I like it. Right? I like that move. See what happens. See which way it breaks. All right. Taking a look at the NAS. Let's look at our indices. And it so just continue to run long. That's what I've got on the 4. Yeah. Net, what are you thinking on this one? You planning on the lower time frame?
Yeah, playing it on the lower time frame. Same thing.
Same
I'm
thing?
looking for a
Okay.
pullback on the lower time frame, hopefully, and then continue.
Okay. Okay.
Yesterday it
So
hit
what's up?
some day extensions. I think it was the 15, the 30.
15, 30. Okay. Let's take it to the 30. Oh, we'll go to the 15 since I accidentally clicked on that. All right. Yep. So correction and a continuation on that one. But we're definitely looking bullish. That's for sure. Definitely looking bullish. Let's go up to the 30. 30, you got an 80-20 off that leg right there. So definitely could be due, you know, for some sort of correction, right? Coming down. So that's an 80-20 zone there, everybody, for that one. Draw it up, right? So on your 30-minute, all right. All right. So if you're playing a counter move on that, that'll be your TP1, right?
Yeah, you probably won't get the
And
pull up until next week though. You may get the retracement, but
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
time is against us on these markets.
For sure. For sure. So possible correction to the downside out of that 80-20 zone, and then a move back long, right? So thinking about buying that dip on that one if we can get it to pull back. So that's where we are on the NASDAQ. We dropped some sevens in the chat for you on that
Thank
one on
you.
that call out. You're welcome. You're welcome. So thank you. So that's where we are there, right? So since we're taking a look at the indices, uh,
Roll over from sleeping and tweet something. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, everybody.
all right, sorry about that, everybody. I've got these new headsets. For some reason, I don't know, the function keeps switching. So can everybody hear me? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I think we did. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. All right, so taking a look at this S&P, this is the 1 hour, so kind of similar, right? Hovering around that 80-20 zone. Will we get a correction, right? I don't know. We've got man, it's like we might double bottom here on our stochastic. Because we've got that back in the buy zone. We'll see, right? If that momentum keeps pushing price higher, right? If price keeps getting pushed higher. Let me let's back out to the daily. Take a look at things from that perspective, right? So we can see how price just keeps running, right? And we had talked about that a little while ago that hey, we may get that push up to that 80-20 zone, and then we pushed past that high, right? So we were wondering if that was gonna happen. We pushed past the high, but we're way up there, right? We are way up there. At some point, we'll see a correction. I don't know if, like me, for example, right? I'm long right now, but I'm not looking to add. I don't want to add a position here, right? I would prefer to get a pullback on the lower time frames to add to this play, right? But we may, right, if we hold maybe on our we go down 1 hour again, right, off that 1 hour leg, wondering, right, if we'll retest this level and then continue from there. So we'll watch it closely to see if it just continues to push higher, 6,173. And this thing is up over 6,000. It's crazy, right? Um, so we'll see in a little bit of a tricky position here, right? So this is
Investing.com just did a news flash on S&P, and I guess they
what are
wait
they saying?
um big tech, something about they waiting on big tech earnings to take center stage or something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, all right. It is that time. So we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, it's got a lot of, I mean, riding high off Trump coming into office and you know his pro growth policies. You know, I could definitely see it, you know, continuing to run, but we may retest this. We may retest this level here. You know, we may come back and retest this level. We'll see. So we're gonna say that this is the key here, right? That 6,100 level or whatnot. We'll see if it retests 60, wants to retest 6,100 and then continue long. It may keep running parabolic though, right? So those unemployment numbers yesterday, well, that pretty much was flat. We're good. I was reading I was listening to and I said that to you last night, Ryan, in the message because it was just you just get these nuggets, right? When you listen to these people. Um, she was with Goldman Sachs and they were all at Davos or whatever. And she said 90% of the time, she said when you have positive GDP, 90% of the time you see positive gains, you know, in the S&P, you know, so I thought that was pretty cool. Our GDP is definitely positive. Um, so we'll see. She was just more um in the short term, thanks, Joy. Um, she was just more so in the short term rate in regards to the sequence in which the administration was going to do things. You know, like where the tariffs going to kick in first up front, or were there other things, other policy measures? So she was just like the sequence. Overall, they see some gains, but will we see a correction sooner than later? And that was based on you know the sequence in which they implement their policies, right? So she said there's always a possibility of short-term pain because of that, right? Because of how they may do things. So, but all in all, right, overall positive, we just need to wait and see. So we'll see what happens if we get this pull back here and if it holds at that level and if we continue to push up, right? This is a 1 hour chart. You know, we got Fed meetings coming up as well. But right now, man, that S&P is looking bullish. Again, taking a look at the spiders, gained across the board in all sectors. Right? Gained across the board in all sectors, right? Technology moved at least yesterday, but it had been the big mover from before. So that's where we are on the S&P 500, US 30. Like everything is just sitting up there. Look at that. That's starting to turn over, but this market is that's a 30-minute chart. This market is rumbling, right? We go to the daily here. Look at that. Right? So right now we have to say, like Donetta said in the chat, waiting patiently for that pullback, right? So possible pullbacks and continuations, but this is definitely here was the low that we had mapped out on the US 30. And yeah, we'll see if we can get the correction and the pullback on those lower time frames. Um, look at the Nikkei, right? Still pushing higher, right? Still pushing higher. Gold seems to be running like stocks. Yep. Yep. We'll take a look at that. It is. They're still, we looked at that on the quant yesterday. You know, they're still piling into gold and some metals. Right. So we'll see. We can break through. It's that 40,544.
You know what I can't find a chart for? I cannot find Platinum's chart. Did you ever get a ticker on Platinum?
I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Because we talked about that last year, weren't we? I'm gonna write that down. Platinum. Anybody knows, let us know. Let us know. So here we are there, right? So that's moving, right? Just patience, everybody. Like here's that pullback a long time ago. Just patience. But if you trade at the right risk level, you know, you can let trades float. You can let them just float and do their thing. This UK 105 minute, right? Came back down, broke trend line. So that one's doing the dance, right? That one's dancing around a little bit. Let's move up to our daily to see what actually is going on there. We're getting close, everybody, right? So our 5 minute, we're doing the dance. We can see where we are, right? Continuing to move towards the 86.36 extension level. All right, look, 786 pullback, 86.36 extension level. Look at all that it did, but ultimately it moved higher. Gotta love the Fib. Gotta love the Fibonacci sequence, right? And got a bunch of stuff going on here, right? Came up to this level and we're correcting to the downside. So still bullish, headed towards that 86.36 level. We clean some of this up now since price just kept running. And that's the beautiful thing about the longer term swing trades. You kind of just, trade small, don't go crazy, and just let the pips and points accumulate. All right. So there we are, right? So can we get, this was the high here that it broke through, right? So I got that solid black line. So maybe we come back down to a buy zone, then maybe we could pick it up off that. That's what the 1 hour looks like on that UK 100. So maybe we continue to push down. We'll see. But bullish, right? From that daily time frame. That's right on track to hit that 86.36 level. Look at this. All right. Look at the momentum that this market has. It's just running. Right? It's just running. All right. We broke trend line. There was that high, that low that we mapped out a while ago. It's just going. Right? We're just continuing to rock and roll, continuing to push through. Right? Look at this. Right? That's just running. Ran into another extension there. And just continue to make us move higher. Look at that. 20,888 was that last target. That's finished. See how we got that circle and that low, right? There's that wave, that 80-20, right? We covered this before. Here's that new ABCD wave here. Right. Just let the market make money for you, right? ABCD didn't get a correction there. It's just impulsive right now. New extension hit. So we need to find an area where we can possibly get long. Right. So if we come down to our one, and a new AB boundary there, right? So if you trade off your 1 hour, right, can we get a pullback and then a continuation long, right? But we hit that 4 hour extension at 20,888 right on the money, and then it just kept extending, right? So if you're a 1 hour chart trader, right, you've already have a new AB boundary. We're waiting on that on the 4, a new AB boundary, but can we get a pullback and a run long, right? That's that on the GR30, right? So we are running in the right direction. Keep in mind always, everybody, that most people they have issues because they can't pick the right direction, right, of the market. Okay, we do a fairly good job in this group of doing that. We don't always get it right. Nobody does, but for the most part, we do pretty good. All right. And so here's US oil, right? There's that decline on that 1 hour of that 80-20, right? Here's the zone, right? So if you're bullish, all right, so we can take these out because that swing has finished on the one. So if you're bullish on this oil, you think, hey, it's gonna make at least another drive higher, right? That's 80, 81 a level at that extension where we are now. And this is just a 1 hour chart. We'll back it out to the daily, but if you're a cloud chaser, bang, right? If you get that breakout on this 1 hour play, this is your chart. Remember, we talked about that earlier in the year, right? Pick your chart and follow your rules. So if you're thinking, hey, we see more upside on oil, then this could be your play here, right? Because we've made a nice correction. We pull back to the buy zone. See if we can get it to break out, right? Moving up to that daily. All right. There's that pullback in this cloud area off the subfib. If you're thinking oil, here's that overall swing here, right? So we've got an 8-6 pullback, right? And so we just missed that target there. Right? So I'm going to pull this subfib off. Okay. So is that 80, right? Back to 80. We just call it 80 even. And we get there, we're looking like, hey, especially right here in this zone, we're holding above that 200 right now. Especially if you see, right, if you're super patient and you wait on that daily swing low to form, then we could definitely move back right to that $80 range on oil. Any questions on that?
I think it's gonna push higher. I'm looking at the 1 and 4, and
Yeah,
they in the same position, but we haven't got that 4 hour push yet. It's just
yeah.
under the 50 on the RSI.
On the R side, okay. Yeah, it's lining up. I mean, look at our stochastic. It's lining up to where that could make that good push. So we shall see. You know, a major thing with this oil too. we know we've talked about it from several angles, is what's that demand going to be from China? What's that demand going to be from China? Because that's the major player. So we'll see. We'll continue to watch that. Continue to watch, you know, uh, the sanction situation. Russia, uh, like all types of stuff. You got things going on with Iran, all types of things going on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Donette, I've been forgetting to ask about the Bloomberg feed and the dashboard. No, it's no longer available. Ryan, what do you what do you think on that?
let me take a look at that. Might have to reset it. I'll take a look. I'll work on that today.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. So that's where we are on oil there. That's looking pretty good after that correction. Hmm. All right. Here we are on gold. This was that we were looking at it for 5 minutes. That's continuing to that's continuing to break. Let me go onto the daily. And let me go back to my default chart. And we're pushing higher. We're continuing to run. It actually played better on the 15. Okay. And you talk about on this gold play, right? On the 15-minute chart. Because we were going through multiple time frames.
Yeah, because I've been trying to play that 80-20 on the fort, but it just kept I kept getting stopped out. So then
Yep.
I reversed my bias and dropped to the lower time frame. But I think I just dropped too low on the 5 and should have stuck with that 15 because it actually played better on that 15.
Okay. Yeah, because gold, when we talked about the fundamentals on it, right? And we'll go back and take a look at it again from what we had discussed. But when we looked at it on the quant, investors are still steady piling into it. The safety appeal, right? This is what we talked about, right? Okay. The this magnified gold safety appeal with lower rates making the non-interest bearing precious metal more attractive. Traders continue to flock to the safe haven assets, remaining cautious amid uncertainty over the impact of Trump's proposed tariffs and immigration policies. A weaker U.S. dollar also supported a move. Meanwhile, investors are closely monitoring policy announcements from the global central banks. The BOJ just raised its interest rates as expected on Friday, while the Fed they're anticipated to hold next week, and the ECB is expected to cut them. For the week, gold is set to mark its fourth consecutive weekly gain. Right. Sometimes, right, if you just sit in things long enough, they will make you money, right? So that's where we are, right? It's continuing to push. Here's the high. That's why we had that marked up, and it's moving right back to those highs. So this is what matters, everybody. Right? This is what matters. Okay. Are the fundamentals. Right. So that's where we are on gold. We talked about silver making this move. That 4-hour play is looking nice. Right. So we come back. Can we push through the high here at 30.95 and get to that extension? I like it. Right. I like it. So if you're trading silver, let's continue to stay long on silver. All right. So that's that there. Nat gas is just ranging right now. But overall, I like it bullish. I like it to stay bullish on that gas. That's the 1 hour. Kind of just doing its thing right now. But I think we eventually push to that D extension at 436 on that gas. Moving to these euros. Right. Some of these euro plays. So here's this Euro Aussie here, right? We hit that 382. This one is just bouncing around off this 382. We did push back twice, right, to our 50% level in our buy zone. This one may be ready to continue long, right? That's on the 4. That's a little choppy, but there are some that are more clear, right? Like the Euro CAD, right? Off this 382, continuing to push along. That's going to come in and hit that D extension. Remember, we're getting a boost in these euros today because of your private sector activity expanded. That's good, right? So we're seeing a boost. So that's your Euro CAD long. That one's pretty much close to the D extension. That's going to close out. Here it is on the 1 hour. Back through the cloud. This Euro Swissy is long. Look at that. That's a beautiful move there. So we look for pullbacks and continuations, right? So if you're trading, I'm going through these because we've got the 4 hour daily long-term swings, but we're not quite to these extensions yet, right? So going over these because if you trade on your lower time frames, 15-minute, 30-minute, things like that, you want to look for pullbacks and continuations to that extension, right? So you want to map that out, knowing that we've got a ways to go. Right on this, let me clear this out and to our default. And right, so look, here's your 1 hour, right? Just shy of that 786. Move to your extension, right? So that's done. So if we do this here, right? So we're still working our way towards this 4 hour target. So what we can do is we can link that down to your 1 hour. And so we know we just had a D extension hit on the 1 hour. So now if I just walk myself down, all right, because we know we have to have confidence in our sequence to say, you know what, eventually this is where I want to head, right, to that level. So what we want to do is find a time frame if I'm day trading that's feasible for me to catch a wave, find a wave, catch it, and to see if I can get involved. So here we got taken out smaller waves. Try to figure out where we can get in and possibly make a play that'll take us the rest of the way to that target. Right. So this one is already playing out on your 15. Look at that. Doesn't matter the time frame, everybody. So pretty soon we're gonna close out there. So we pretty much just need to let that hit, wait for a reset. But you can see how we're working our way. This is that 4 hour D extension. Like that. Okay. So if we're using this framework, trading those lower time frames, this is how we're mapping it out. We're just going down to the smaller waves. All right. So if I um, this right, and we just get smaller and smaller. So if I come down to my 5, and that's your chart there. Oops. Start taking it from this level. See? Okay. So if I trade my 5-minute chart, And you know your zone that you like to trade. Just keep digging until you find your level. Okay? There's that ultimate target. So we want to trade ABCD ways all the way up to that 4-hour extension. Okay? So if you trade a 5-minute chart, that's your chart. And you're just going to ride the wave. So every time something comes down around your zone and you're saying, I'm long, you want to take that. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But if you wait, for example, on these pullbacks, anywhere in this green zone, you're going to have a positive risk to reward ratio. Right? So these last two here, fibs, right? If it didn't hit your sweet spot, then you might have not have taken those on this 5-minute chart. Here you may have gotten long, right? So now this is your latest play. Can I get to this extension? Right? If you like to be in and out, right there. All along, we're trying to get to that 95.55 level. Okay, so that's your Euro Swissy there. I go to the Euro Yen. It's just patience, right? The patience pays off. So here's that swing, right? We took off and we dipped a bit and we went lower. Okay, I just adjust my take profit level. Now we're looking like we're on pace to get to that 164.65 level. We finally came through and broke through the cloud. Right? And so the mental game is when you get priced to take off from a level and then it pulls back. You have to just keep thinking in your mind, it has not taken out my A. And if it does, I already know what I'm losing. I figured that out before I even took the trade. Okay, I'm out a 0.5%, 1%, even 2%, right? I'm not gonna be out of 3%, whatever. You shouldn't take a trade if you're not comfortable with what you could lose. So you've already calculated. So you have to feel confident in knowing that, hey, as long as it doesn't take that A out, it's going to go my way. Right? And so we finally broke the cloud. We even pulled back, got a test. And now we're moving towards that 164.65 level. All right. Any questions over anything that we went over today? No? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Joy. Ryan, anything before we close out, sir?
Have a phenomenal weekend, everybody.
For sure. For sure. We'll be back 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Forex Weekly Ritual. Until then, have a great day, everybody.